You've probably seen the previous videos I made about how I opt out of facial recognition at the border and when I'm boarding flights. When I opt out of facial recognition and I go through all of that trouble at borders, on flights, at amusement parks, at venues, at concerts, etc., it's not because I'm under the illusion that my image, video, audio are not already out there. If I didn't want my image and videos to be out there, I would have 0 social media accounts. If you have a social media account, you have your images and video out there, including your audio. Even if you don't have a social media account, video, audio, and images of you are being captured all over the place. In video doorbells, street cameras, security cameras, driver's licenses, passports, mugshots. If someone takes a video or photo and you happen to be the background and then they just happen to upload it online, there you go. You're there. Whether you like it or not, our images and video are out there. They are everywhere. On top of that, just because my data has been shared once, it doesn't mean I want repetitive data being taken from me over and over again. Every time your behavioral biometric data is taken by many different organizations, companies, and sources, that data is then fed to even more companies, organizations, and sources. It is being spread around and it is being used to train and refine algorithms even more. I don't want that without my consent, no. So the reason I opt out of facial recognition entry points isn't because I want my image to not be out there. It's already out there. It's because I don't want these companies and governments and institutions to take privacy, our data for granted. It's because I want them to ask for our consent every single time. It's because I want us to be in a culture where it's the norm to be asked to opt in, not to fight for a way to opt out. So I'm trying to create more friction so that people don't take for granted that my data is actually my data. But right now, our data is assumed to be public data. So I am trying to advocate to change that assumption, because your data, whether it's your behavioral data, your personal data, your biometric data, that is your data, and we should have control and consent over whether or not we want it to be shared. And I have not a shadow of a doubt that if we continue to let governments, institutions, and organizations take our data seamlessly and so easily, in the future, we will not even be given the option to opt out. And that means we will inevitably be in a world where you won't even be able to access services, location, or information unless your data and your biometrics are taken from you mandatorily. You won't have a choice.